what it looks like with the fire on. What's up, bros? Today I want to do something a little bit different. Today I want to break down one of the biggest DJ setups that I have ever done. Before we actually get started, I gotta send a huge shout out to the guys over at Posh DJs, because essentially this was their setup. A lot of this stuff was theirs. It was mostly their stuff. The only thing that I mainly provided was audio. I was DJing on behalf of Posh DJs, and man, do I miss working with the guys. The staff at Posh DJs is so fun to work with, and I really do miss working with the guys. So big shout out to all the Posh crew watching out there. By the way, I don't know if you guys know this, but Posh DJs actually has a huge Mixcloud account, and I highly recommend that you guys go follow them, because they got world-class DJs posting new mixes every single day. So go check them out on Mixcloud. Their Mixcloud is really dope. Now back to the setup. If you guys are subscribed to my YouTube channel and you have the bell icon turned on, then you have access to my community tab. My community tab is essentially where I post all the updates regarding my channel, and it's also where I notify you guys when to send in your DJ setups for review. And I recently posted another one of those posts notifying you guys to send in your setups, and to get your attention, I posted one of the setups that I personally did with the guys at Posh DJs. And by overwhelming demand, the comments automatically turned to, hey, did you ever make a video about that setup that's in that picture? And I thought to myself, no, I never made a video about that particular setup because I really didn't record much. And now, believe me, I went in with the full intentions of filming a gig log about this particular event, but it was just such a massive production and took up so much of my time that video more or less took a backseat. However, when I got there, I was going with the full intention to record, so I do have a bit of footage to show you guys. So I figured I would show you guys all the back end that went on, the production, the setup, and all that stuff, and then we'll come back and break down the actual setup, which you guys will see is massive. So without further ado, let's take a look at this massive setup. Today is such a big package that we have not one, not two, but three, including my car. What's up, everybody? What's happening? What's going on? DJ Barr here on behalf of Posh DJs. Posh DJs are in the building. Yes, we are here at the Grove in Cedar Grove. I don't know how you say it. One of the two. We are here doing a very rare, for me, very rare Sweet 16. Sweet 16. This is no ordinary Sweet 16. It is a Sweet 16 on another level. This is a Sweet 16 on steroids. We are here at a world-class venue called the Grove. Check it out. As you guys can see, it's very nice. And the setup is a very posh setup. We have literally everything inside of the warehouse. We're talking CO2, dancing on clouds, snow, fireworks, sparklers, whatever you want to call them. Massive sound system, massive lighting system, TVs. We got a robot coming. It's definitely going to be a fun one because we have all the effects. Rigging process is not the easiest, but we're going to make it happen. And I got my man Brian over there. Brian, are you going to make me look good today or what? Brian is the man running the show today. He's got all this help here, but he's the man in charge tonight. Man, Brian, you have your work cut out for you today, man. It's gonna look good though. You have dancing on the clouds, sparklers, you have snow, you have CO2. It's gonna be lit. You're earning your paycheck today, man. And you got a haircut, dude. We also have photo booth I didn't even mention, but photo booth is gonna go, I think, on that back corner over there. bro, that setup took about, I would say about 2.5 hours. We showed up 3 hours beforehand. It was a tricky one because there was a lot of things that we had to take into consideration. Biggest thing being power situation, just because there's so many things running. You don't want to mess around when it comes to the power situation. So you got to take that very seriously, especially when your setup is of this caliber. Let me walk you guys through everything that we have. We'll start here. That is the ADJ On Tour Ice. Right next to that, we have the 75s. Those are 75-inch TVs. They are massive. Videos don't do a very good job of showing scales, but goddamn, these are huge TVs. Check it out. On top there of the totals, we have 4 of the Chauvet Rogues. 1, 2, 3, 4. And these are 8-foot totems, by the way. This fan right here, it's not to cool down our system or to cool us down. It's because we also have a snow machine. I don't know if you guys can see the snow machine, but it's coming out of this tower here, and the snow machine is right there. So it's going here, up, and comes out through the tower there right next to the Rogue. We of course have the SRX system, my system. We have the ADJ facade, 5 panels. We bought an extra one to make it 5 panels. And we also have the Chauvin Sparkulars. Sparkulars by Sparkular. I think that's what it's called. We have 4 of them today. Yeah! Fire! And that is what it looks like with the fire on. Cool thing about those sparklers is they leave a little bit of residue, so now you see a little bit of beam on the lights. If we work our way here through the back, we have our monogram projection, which is all the way across right there, looking very nice. Work our way through. 2 CO2 tanks, head roadie, yep. Photo booth. And this is it back here. Back here it's a little bit tight because there's a lot. We got the command center right here for the sparklers, the CO2, the TVs, and the DJ booth right here. We got my paperwork for today. I'm just going over it. We got Serato, MacBook Pro monitor, and that's pretty much it. Are you guys ready? Yes. This is one of the biggest setups that I think I've ever done. It's nothing to laugh at. It's a big, massive setup. I want to get a picture in front of this thing. Can we get a picture of this? Dude. So now let's break it all down and figure out how much this setup actually costs. So here on the left hand side, I have my Notes app pulled up with all the equipment that we use. I hope I didn't miss anything. And on the right hand side, I have Google pulled up so we can cross check to make sure that my prices are accurate. I'm going to be rounding up. Keep in mind that I'm not adding taxes or any other things that may factor into this. All right, so first off, we have 2 75-inch TVs. These are our Samsung TVs. Whoa, those are expensive TVs. Running cost is about $1,000, so times 2, I would say it's $2,000. And it looks like a truss mount for this is about 80 bucks. So let's add another 160 bucks to this. So 160 bucks for TVs and mount. Next up, we have the 2 dry ice machines. Those were the ADJ and Tour ice machines. And those come in at, wow, those are expensive. So $1,500, let's just go ahead, say an even $3,000 for those 2 machines. CO2 gun. Ooh. Check that out. I own that search term. That's awesome. $300 for the CO2 gun. Next up, we have the Chauvet Rogues, and wow, these are expensive. The Chauvet Pro RX1 spots are 1,500 bucks. So 1,500 plus 1,500, that's 3 grand. That's 6 grand. Just in the moving heads. The 5P hexes for our totems. 5P hex. $800 worth of park cans inside of our totems. Next up, we have 2-meter totems. 2 of these are going to cost us 400 bucks. And then we have the 3-meter ones. Let's see how much the 3-meter one costs. The 3-meter one is another 350, so 700 bucks. Also, I forgot 4 base plates. So let's figure out how much base plates cost. 150 bucks, so that's another $300 there. SRX speakers. Those cost $1,400. $1,400, so that's $2,800. And then we have the SRX 828p. The single is $16,000. Double is $2,000. Facade is going to be a little bit tricky because you guys know that I use a 5-panel facade. However, the facade that I personally have only comes with 4 panels, so you do have to buy an extra panel. Buying an extra panel costs about an extra $100, and the facade itself actually costs $350. So we're gonna go ahead and even that out to about $450 for the facade. Next up are our laptops. We were both using MacBook Pros, and they were both 15-inch MacBook Pros. I believe those have been discontinued. Now it goes 13 and 16-inch. So I know how much mine personally costs. I paid $2,500, so I'm assuming his cost around the same. So let's go ahead and say an even $5,000 for 2 MacBook Pros 15 inches. The newer ones are about 28, and I think 25 is about correct. I'm just gonna go ahead and tack on TV software to operate the visuals, and as well as Serato and those little miscellaneous things. Another $500 for TV software, DJ software. That'll bring our laptop total to 55. UB bar for our facade. I had no idea how expensive these lights are. Okay, so the ADJ, those are $600 for 2. Wow. Those are pricey lights. My DJ console, as many of you guys know, I use Pioneer Nexus. And do we have a setup, complete setup? I think it's this one right here. This one comes with a case. That's about right. Right now, it's showing that this console right here costs $6,000, about $61 actually. But I'm gonna go ahead and remove the case and just say that it's an even $6,000. Light console to run the lights, that's pretty inexpensive. I'm just gonna go ahead and delete that. I'll include that with the $500 in the laptop. So that'll include lighting software, that'll include TV software, DJ software. So I'll take into account a nice $500 just for software, which is included with our laptop. So I also included speaker stands in this because the speaker stands that I personally use are pretty expensive. They're about $150 a pop, so $300 in total, and that's something that we can't neglect. Our snow machine is an Atari snow machine, and it comes in at $1,600, so we'll go ahead and include that for $1,600. Next, we have our Sparks. Those are the Chauvin Sparks. Again, those are very expensive, and it looks like they cost about $1,600. So 1,600 times 4, that's 64. But keep in mind that you can't operate these without the controllers. This is the controller right here, but does it show pricing? Alright, so another 12. So that brings our sparkular cost to 76. Alright, so that's pretty much everything that we use. However, do bear in mind that there is a ton of other miscellaneous things that I did not include, such as the dry ice for the dry ice machines, the fluid for the snow machine, granules for the Sparks, cables, DMX, HDMI, power cables. There's a bunch of other little knickknacks, clamps, and just a bunch of other things that we use that I did not include in this to bring this all to life. You're gonna have to allocate, I would say, safely a conservative number, taking into account the CO2 tanks and everything else. I would say a safe number would be an extra $1,500. Alright, so now let's figure out the total. I have all my numbers here ready to go. I'm gonna copy and paste them into Google, and it's time to figure out our cost. Are you guys ready? Here we go. The total for this massive setup is a whopping $36,610. Yes! So, hey bros, it's DJ Barr from the future here to tell you that I completely messed this up. If you were paying close attention, then you saw that I messed up the base plate count. I only took into account 2. It should have been 4 because we had a total of 4 towers, and that adds an extra $300. Secondly, if you guys saw, I also forgot to take into account the projector, and we use a beefy, very expensive projector, which is about another $2,000. That brings our actual total to $38,910. However, if you take into account the mirror booth that we also had at this event, that adds an additional $10,000. Woo! And looking back, I don't think I allocated enough money for the miscellaneous things because cases, cables, and all that other stuff is actually very expensive. And when you take into account our staff cost and everything else, let's say we add a conservative $2,000, that brings us still over $50,000 if you take into account the cases, the cables, all that other stuff. It brings that total setup to well over $50,000. Big shout out to the Posh team for making this massive setup happen. If you have any questions about this setup, don't hesitate to leave them down in the comments below. Share your thoughts down there. I'll be sure to reply back to you. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to like it, subscribe if you're new around here, and if you really want to help me out, don't forget to turn on that bell so that you can be notified next time we do another setup breakdown video. Also, bros, don't forget that if you want to support my channel so that I can keep making more videos like this one, you can pick yourself up a piece of merch. That really does help my channel out. Also, if you want to download the sound effects that I use in all my mixes and my videos, my horns, my sirens, my booms, my bags, you can also download those as well. Downloading them really does help support my channel, so check out the links in the description of this video. Until next time, DJ Barr, stay awesome, bros. Peace out.